I'm too excited for this.
We are excited.
I'm too excited for this. It's so weird to think today is February 18th when I said I'm going to have a book done in 6 weeks. And here we are. And it's not 100% finished. Let's just start off this. Well, I mean, the text is basically finished.
Exactly.
And we're just waiting for people to join us here on the live, but also we're waiting for the layouts to be done, and I'm so excited. If we are just meeting like this, my name is Caroline Ravn. I am obviously the magician who has been posting about this a million times, that it's time to talk about the book that you need more than that trick you are, drooling over at Blackpool or whatever, at vanishingink.com or whatever. This is Leonie. She's my assistant and sales manager, and it's always a pleasure sitting here with her instead of just thinking that I'm gonna know what I'm gonna say. So she has offered to do an interview today.
Yeah, I just got back from my hometown in Berlin, Germany, and now I'm back for the important event. So we're here together.
Yes! She missed my 10-year anniversary though, so
that was sad.
It's not that I'm pissed or anything, but we do have to discuss some things after this. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I see we have some people here. Let me see if I managed to get this right. Did I? Oh, I didn't. I did! Yes! We have good evening from Warsaw. Oh, it was a long time since I was in Warsaw. My goodness, beautiful place. And then we have Richard. Hello, all the way from America. Good. Amazing. So what can we expect today? We can expect me to read a little bit from the book.
That's gonna be exciting.
Fun. Yes. And also you have prepared some questions.
Yes, which we haven't seen before, so we'll see how she's doing, right?
It's gonna be great. Also, I am gonna read 1 to 2 chapters from the book, and if you have any questions about the book, or a career as a full-time magician, because that is what the book is about. It's called this changed so many times, but the actual book title of the book right now is The Business Side of Show Business: How to Make a Living Doing Magic. And this little baby here has had 50 different names so far, but it was kind of the same thing when I was pregnant with the twins. It was like, it's not just one baby name you need 2, and then you need to have the middle names, so it was ridiculous. And also Siegfried and Roy were taken, so
but you had more time when you're pregnant.
Oh, that's true.
Now it was only 6 weeks, so...
It was 6 weeks, yeah. Oh, my friend Matt is here. Hello, Matt. How are you doing? Whoop, whoop, whoop. Fun. We have New Jersey is here, and then we have Canada is here. here. We have Colombia is here. A lot of people who were on the other side of the pond that decided to not go to Blackpool this year. I've heard a lot of great things about Blackpool this year, though. I kind of feel like I have to go maybe next year. There's always a reason not to go, and it's mainly because they say the hotels stink, the food stink, and I saw a lot of people who booked hotels, and they got to the hotel, and they were like, no, there's no reservation.
Oh, that's great. Amazing. Especially if you travel from Europe.
Right.
Amazing for you.
Amazing. All right, so I'm thinking that I'm going to start off, because I see people are still jumping in here. I'm going to start off with just reading the introduction for the book.
Does
that work?
No.
No. Well, it starts, obviously, with the title. Why am I nervous now?
So much work went into this.
I know, so much work. So many second deals that were not counted this week and last week. But the first quote in the book is, "Opportunities missed by most people because it's dressed in overalls and look like work." Also love that I did not turn off notifications on my computer right now. But it was a good luck on the live stream, so I mean, that was good. And that's a quote by Thomas A. Edison. I do love that quote. And now, the first chapter of the book, or actually the introduction to the book. Your journey of a lifetime. You're currently reading the book that I wish I had in hand when I started my business 10 years ago. I knew where to find the tricks, stage experience, and who to ask if I ever needed a special glue that would do a very specific thing. But I had no one to ask on how to make my passion my living. You have too many tricks. There, I said it. Now we can move on to what really matters. All jokes aside, I will make a qualified guess. You have more tricks in your repertoire than you will ever get to use in this or any upcoming lifetime. You bought books, lecture notes, and effects that you'll never opened. The tricks you perform are tricks you've done for a while, maybe for many years now. You're happy with them. You may even have a show or an act ready. You don't have a clear business plan, a thriving career, a balanced life. You're not sure where and when the next show is coming from. You don't know how to make a sustainable living doing what you love most. If this sounds anything like you, this book is for you. This book will cover 0 tricks. I know, this will disappoint a few of you. I want to clarify that very early on. You won't find any magic-related secrets in here. There are too many books out there with great and not so great material. You already know your selected tricks, gathered performing experience, and you sat through countless lectures. Now it's time to focus on the business side of show business. As I'm writing this, not as I'm reading this, I'm sitting by the pool at a 5-star hotel in Egypt. The kids are playing, the sun is warm, the sun warms my face, and the coffee is just right. The 10-year anniversary of my business is coming up in a few weeks, and I can't help to reflect on all the decisions that were made for me to be here now. It's been a heck of a journey, from theology school and preaching to having sold my soul to Satan for card tricks. I am not saying it was easy. None of it was. However, it was worth it. I hope this book inspires you to go on a journey of a lifetime and be able to look back 10 years from now and be proud of what you did. Now it's time. I hope you're ready. Please enjoy and thank me later. Caroline Ravn, January 7th, 2024.
Wow. Also, it feels like this was forever ago.
Ariel also says no tricks. 0 tricks. 0 tricks. Some storytelling though.
Yeah.
Some storytelling. Oh, we also see some people here from Ghana and Africa. We have Philadelphia in the house. Fun. Dan is here. My goodness, are you not out celebrating your birthday? Everybody, happy birthday to Dan in the chat. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Happy birthday. Oh, that's fun. Amazing. Well, yeah, I think this is actually the book that the magic community needs. It's truly was something that I needed when I started. I literally had nobody to ask on how to write a contract. Do you even need a contract? How do you talk to people? Like, how do you run a business doing what you love? Because I mean, it's one thing that just decide on, I'm going to start a business. I have this idea of selling ice cream in the summer, and then I'm going to work as a janitor for the rest of the year. And that's one thing. But as magicians and entertainers, we're driven by something else than running a business. We're driven by the passion for magic or juggling or whatever it is. And I think there's a big difference from having an idea of an actual product and actually selling ourselves.
Especially as something that you said to me early on when I started, that the year is every month is different. So it's something you have to plan for. It's not that you can be like, oh, I don't have a show tomorrow. Well, maybe I find something. That's not going to happen. You're not going to find something today for next week. Sometimes, yes, but it takes planning, it takes time, it takes courage, it takes a lot of work. And you have to do it, and you have to know how to, and how to actually find people that also pay.
Exactly. Yeah, and happy birthday. Look at this. They're all rolling in right now. Fun.
Yay.
Amazing. Well, let's start off
I
with
have
some
questions.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited. I'm trying not to speak. Even though, I mean, I just had LASIK eye surgery, and I still zoomed in so much on my computer to read the text that I just did, and I can't see what you have on your computer. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's fun. I saw the text you have there.
Don't judge me.
I think
Remember,
if
I
you go
pay your
back
salary.
probably like 10 meters and be like, fun. Still reading that. So now that you can read that, I'm gonna start reading it to you.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you. This is teamwork.
yeah. Well, it is an interview. It would be bad if you have to do the questions too.
Okay, that's true. That's true.
Teamwork, like you said.
Let's go.
Well, you just shared the name of the book for the first time. You know what it's called. But why is it called that? And what inspired you even to write a book?
Good questions. Next one. Kidding. No, I mean, I had an idea of what I wanted the name for the book to be. I wanted it to be called The Magic Life for a long time. Also, Life According to Caroline was a name that I wanted to have for a while. Because it really is. I mean, you say that to me all the time, like, oh, Caroline, you work so much. Even in the Christmas card, you're like, oh my God, thank you for an amazing time this year, but you work too much, haha. But I do love what I do. I do love running this as a business, and I see myself more as an entrepreneur than a performing magician, even though that is how I make most of my money. And so that was something that I thought would be a great name, like Life According to Caroline, because it's so much work that goes into this, but it's not just the work, it's also the passion.
Yeah.
I really love doing the business side of show business. And if I wasn't performing, I mean, I have an injury on my thumb that I thought was actually going to cost me my career. And that was always something that I thought, like, if this doesn't work for me anymore for any reason, then I'd be happy to help other people as an agent or as like a consultant or anything like that. And what was the question? The second question was what inspired it.
Yeah.
Well, I've been doing this full time now for a decade. And it's a long time. I actually just last week celebrated a 10-year anniversary. It was so fun. We had like 120 people there. It was great. The champagne was there. It was amazing. And I heard that there was 9 bottles extra champagne over, and I was like left over. And I was like, how did this happen? It felt like everybody was drinking all the time.
Where's my bottle of the rest of the bottles?
Yeah, you know. Well, we can discuss that later on. But what inspired it now? Well, I wanted to really give myself and the magic community something back, because I've had such a lovely time. This is, you know, I can't imagine doing anything else. Okay, I mean, even when I was pregnant, if you don't know me, I had twins 2 years ago.
And they're so cute.
I know, they're the best. So who's the beautiful lady beside you? I'm going to tell you everything about her in a second. So also, we can tell the story about how you were tracked down by the guy. Moving on.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, but what was the question again?
What inspired you?
What
to write a
inspired
book?
me? Well, I wanted to give back, and I really did, because I've had really a lifetime experience, like, of goodness and amazingness and travels just for this past decade. Like, if anybody looks at just those 10 years of my life, they're going to be like, oh, she lived a long and happy life. Like, I've done so much. And it wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for all of the people surrounding me and pushing me and making sure that I was, you know, always on track, or, you know, always pushing my boundaries and limiting beliefs of myself. And I thought it was a good idea to give something back. But what do you give back to people? Like, it's such a hard thing. Like, if somebody gifts you a gift, like, you're like, on your birthday, you're like, okay, this was $25 or whatever, then it's easy to know what you're supposed to give on the dinner party coming up, you know? But in this case, like, I was given a life by the magic community. Life, my passion came to life. I mean, I'm now running this, like, a really successful business in this beautiful little office together with a person that I hired. I mean, it's amazing. So I wanted to give something to make sure that other people can do this too. So it's not only me sitting here and, you know, thriving and being amazing and doing all the amazing shows and charging so much money. But I truly think that there are not enough magicians on this planet. I think there's definitely room for more. We shouldn't see each other as like competition. We should see each other as colleagues and remember that the higher we raise the level of magic, the better it is for everybody. And that also comes down to how we run this as a business. Yeah. Like if somebody charges $1,000 for a show and somebody charges $100 or somebody charges $10,000 for a show, I mean, there's different levels of everything. But I think that we have to kind of in a way raise the level of the magic that is performed, but also understand the value that we're providing. And that's something that I talk about a lot in the book, that we have to remember that we are superheroes in this. Like we can go up on a stage and just take over. Like we can switch everything around and just take control, and we can bring people up on stage, we can present them, and we can make water disappear, and we can, you know, make an elephant appear or whatever. We're superheroes. And too many times magicians, here I get worked up, too many times magicians don't understand their own value. And that is basically what this book is. This is you reviving like everything you've ever done, like thinking to yourself, what is my business plan? What is it that I do? What is my value? And then just write everything down to yourself to make sure that you understand that this is a new structure for you. And I truly think, like I kind of want to promise this, but I can't because we're in a live stream and people might hold me against this or whatever it's called later on. But you know, I think that if you're just taking the advice in this book, if you don't double or triple your income next year, I would be very surprised. Like, honestly, very surprised. So
that was a very long answer.
You have more questions. I'm sorry.
We're gonna probably stay here for a while. Just the amount of answers are the same. Like
well, I'm just gonna run through some of these though. This is Leonie. She's my assistant. She's best. She's the best. Not best. She's the best. Amazing. Let's see here. Let's see here. We have some other. Congrats on the book launch. Whoop whoop whoop. I also feel like we should put the link in so people know where to get it. Oh, Barry's here. Yay. Well, actually, if anybody's interested in like a great course or whatever on showbiz, Barry Friedman has an amazing one. It was the first course I ever took on the business side of showbiz, and it really changed my life. Thank you, Barry. We have some other people here. Does the book contain a chapter on your struggles with opening cards? No, but I think maybe there's room for improvements. No? Okay. Income is 0 though. Well, we can change that too, but still, 3 times 0 is still 0.
Yeah, well, you gotta do something.
That's true. Should we put the link into the book?
We should.
I think I just did. Did I? Let's hope it worked. If it didn't, then, you know, I'm gonna have to sort it out. But I just pressed the button and I was like, okay, it's out there. And let me double check if
it really is out there.
Yeah, let's double check. Amazing. What's the next question?
The next question, first of all, it's out there.
It's out
there.
So
that's great. And the next question is something good question. I also stop my words. It's not happening anymore. What is the most challenging aspect of your professional career when you were just starting out?
When I was starting out. Well, the pandemic sucked.
Let me finish.
The pandemic sucked.
Yeah.
When I was first starting out, I think it was the lack of knowledge. Like I had 0 experience in running a business. I was working in the church when I quit my job and to do this full time. So I was working in the church. I studied theology because I wanted to become a minister. And I just thought, you know what? I'm good at card tricks. I like standing on stages. I didn't actually. I was terrified of going on a stage back then. But I think the hardest part was not knowing who to ask. Because I mean, people were giving me advice all the time. Like, people gave me advice even though I didn't ask. And it was like how I should dress. And, you know, giving me advice on things I didn't ask for. And that's one thing. If you don't buy the book, if you don't take anything away other than this little piece of advice I'm going to give you right now, don't take advice from magicians who are not successful. And most magicians are not very successful. I mean, they might give you a little nugget of something that sounds great, but most of the time it's not. And that's something I regret from early on. I was listening to hobbyist magicians on, marketing advice and how to email people. But I mean, they weren't getting any success, so why was I listening to them? So when I started bringing in people into my business, like my agent, and when I hired a director for the first time, or even when I went to go take Barry's course, things changed. Like I felt like I had a foundation that was broken. When you see movies and the ground is like shaking and then it cracks, opens, and that kind of felt like my foundation was like that. It was fragile. But then things started adding up and I had things like make more sense. And I feel like so many times we are so unsure on what we do that we will take and suck in advice from just anybody instead of just asking somebody who actually knows.
Yeah. And I can say she knows.
Yeah. Oh well. For the magicians out there, it's Alexandra who knows. Squad.
Okay.
Yeah, she's not a magician yet.
Maybe one day.
She's gonna take over.
All right, so you've been talking about your challenges in the beginning, but how did you overcome them?
How did I overcome them? It doesn't appear the way I pre-ordered the book. Let's see here. Went to a site listed and there doesn't appear to be a way to pre-order the book. Let's have a look at
check that.
Yeah, you look at that.
Your answer, I check.
How I overcame it? Well, honestly, I think I just learned by doing very much. It was a lot of like trial and error. And in the beginning, when I started doing going to events and like actually booking shows, in the beginning I didn't have any contracts. I didn't know that you needed a contract. I didn't know that you needed or supposed to have insurances. These are things that people kept telling me. They kept telling me that you need to send a contract, you need to do this and this. So I was very reactive the first, I'd say 3 years, because it was such a high thing to learn. Like what's the word? Like the learning curve to do this full time was so hard, and I had nobody to ask, and there wasn't like a guide to do this. Like here's a manual, and this is how you do things. There wasn't anything like that. What's the status on the book thing?
It's working. What you have to do is you click on it and you click on the little button that says pre-order. Then you scroll down. There you can type in your name, your email address, and afterwards there's the payment options. You can either pay by credit card, debit card, or PayPal.
Ah, good. Let's see if it works.
Let me know if it doesn't.
Yep. This is why I have an assistant now, so I can sit here and just look pretty. All right, we have another question. Question for the lady on the right. I'm guessing that's you. Her name is Leonie. I'm going to put it here in the comments. Leonie. Wait, Leonie.
Yeah, perfect.
There we go. How many tricks have you seen so far as the test trick from Caroline?
Is there something I haven't seen?
Have you seen anything new though? Like, have I ever tried anything new on you? Yeah. The silk thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one.
Card tricks, a few different ones. I know her show.
Yeah.
I've seen that probably
In a few different
I feel like 50, 60 times, maybe more. Different versions, different languages, English, Swedish, cruise show. I've seen it all.
Yeah. Here we have a clarification. I think he's talking about the physical version of the book because it's just for the ebook right now. Yes. The book isn't. It's a pre-launch, so the book isn't physical or even digital yet because we're waiting. We're waiting for Phil Shaw, who decided to go to Blackpool to earn money during a magic convention. Ridiculous. Instead of taking matters into his own hands and making sure the book was done on the launch date, because I didn't want to move the launch date because I planned things around this. Also, I usually run a book club at this time, so I already announced that the date would be this date, and it's a whole thing. It's a pre-launch. You're gonna get it when it's done.
Which will be soon though.
Yeah, I mean, the text is basically done. We're just waiting to have it be beautiful and ready. And the thing is also that I decided to do this the proper way. First I was like, yeah, let's just do it as a PDF, and people can download it and they get value. But it's not that I wanted just to earn some money and give people a little bit of value. I wanted this to be an actual book that I can actually be proud of. And this is going to be something that's going to be either as an ebook, like a PDF ebook thing, or you can actually get it as a physical book when it's done.
For now, this is the link for the ebook.
Mm-hmm.
So for the pre-ordering of the physical book, it's going to be a bit more time.
Yeah. Actually, I think maybe a good idea, because a lot of people would actually want the printed book. So if I don't know how much the book is going to be, it all depends on how it's going to be when we print them, like actually printing them with the printer. But maybe we can say that if people bought it here, they will get that discounted when they get the physical book. Yeah.
We are open for those ideas.
No, and I think that's a great idea, because most people, and even if you get the physical book, you can even have access to the ebook. Doesn't make sense to buy 2 copies.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, if they want to support you,
we're here
you can
to serve
always
them.
do both.
Did I tell you I have twins?
And a dog.
And a dog. People forget about the dog. I forget about the dog. That's not true. Okay, next question, please.
Next question. In your book, you talk about all the advice you wish you had. What is one piece of advice, besides the one that you already gave, that you would like to give them now?
Don't let people get to you. Because a lot of people are gonna think things about you, and when you do something, like when you try to run a business or start a YouTube channel or whatever it is that you're doing, your friends, your family, people who are the closest to you are going to say things, and it might be hurtful, and it's usually not about you, it's usually about them. And I remember when I went on my first national tour, I was talking to a few magicians. I went to their show, and after the show we went out for some beers, and one guy, he was like, oh yeah, that's great, amazing, congrats on your tour, starting in a week or 2 weeks or whatever. And he was like, but what happens if you don't sell out? What happens when you get a bad review? And what happens if you screw up something on the stage? Are you ready for that? And I was like, why is he raining on my parade? Like, I let it affect me for a day or two. I was really sad when I went home, because I was like, I'm always supporting other magicians. So I thought that was like a really, really mean thing to do. Like, so close to my premiere too. But I think don't listen so much to other people. Listen more inward and what you want to do and why you want to do this. And that's a big part of the book too. Like, and something that the book even starts with talking about your goals and your whys, because there's going to come times when you're like, I have no energy left to do this. I don't want to do this. It's too hard. People are not calling me. People are not, booking my show. And you're going to feel so many times that you just want to quit. And if you just listen outside, if you just listen to the other people saying things about you that they don't really have a say in, then it's going to be so much easier for you to just go, okay, back to supermarkets or whatever, or wherever you used to work. I don't know. In my case, back to church. Because if you listen more inward and you're like, I want to do this because, and in my case, it was because my grandfather taught me tricks when I was a kid, and the way he made me feel, I want to make other people feel that way. That's my why. Every day. Like, if I go out to do a gig, and you know that sometimes, and if you're here watching and you're a professional magician or whatever, or a semi-pro or something, you might also get this. But I'm like, I don't want to do the show today. It's too much work. I don't feel like it. And whenever I get there, I always give it 110%, because I remember that feeling. I remember the feeling that he gave me. And it's my job to make sure that they feel that too. And I can have a bad day. Everybody can have a bad day at work. But I still have to deliver on my promise, not just to them in the contract, but also to myself. Like, at the end of the day, I'm also having this contract with 3-year-old Caroline, who loved magic, who still loves magic, to do this for people.
Yeah, I think that's something different for entertainers in general or for people that work with people. If you have a bad day at work, happens, but suck it up and deliver. Because the people are not responsible for you having a bad day.
That's true. Also reading through the comments, and let's see here.
We love Chris's support.
Yeah, buy now, but we get the physical copy too. Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. Because I mean, we're still doing the pre-launch, even though it's not 100% finished. And I don't feel bad. I think it's great though. Celebrate your success. It's good. Show us the boys. The boys are not here. They're sleeping. They're so cute though.
I haven't seen them since I got back, but
I know.
I did get back last Thursday, so this Thursday. I've been here for 4 days.
Welcome
3.5
back.
if you consider my arrival time. So it's fair.
That is true. As in say, I'd love more. Let me see here. Why is this covering all of our faces? Let me just take this and drag it down a little bit. As in to say, I'd have ordered a physical copy over the digital one today. So if there was a short of, just okay, yeah. No, I think definitely we're gonna do if people want to buy it now, then absolutely we will make sure that people can get the, because I mean I'd get all of the email addresses for everybody who buys the book.
Yeah.
And if somebody wants the physical book, absolutely we're gonna make sure you get that one. I don't know how much the book is gonna be because we don't have a company yet to print the books, so I can't promise that it's gonna be 100% for free or anything like that. Yeah. But we're going to keep the same price, though, for people who buy it now. And like if there's something, we're going to just discount that from the actual price of the physical book to make it easier for everybody.
Yes. And I also saw that there was a response that it was not about the physical book. If you scroll up again.
Is he here?
Doc. There he is.
This one.
He's not seeing the pre-order button. All of his information. Yes, if you have that, you are on the right page. Maybe you'll see that if I show it to you on my computer. Here, this is the page, and if you scroll down,
A beautiful page.
this is where you go. So if you just scroll, you go to the Get It Now. You put your name, you put your email address, and you have the payment options. I hope this works. If not, let me know.
There's another question. When will it be live? Good question. As soon as as Phil Shaw is done with the layout.
Yeah.
And he's still at Blackpool, so
give him some times to get back home.
Yeah, and as I said before, I'd rather have it, done is better than perfect. I always say, but in this case, it's really not.
Yeah.
We want perfection. I want it to be perfect, and I don't want to have to change the book when it's done. You know. So my hope is that, what is it today?
18th of February.
My hope is that it's 100% done and delivered to people in a month, maybe 3 weeks. And it all depends on the layout, how long that's going to take.
Yeah.
Yep. But the price is going to go up after the pre-launch. So, and that's also why we wanted to do this still, because premiering everybody who is actually here, participating, asking questions, and supporting what we're doing. Let me see here. I've been there. Bad day. Big gig. You got to do it. Sorry to pull your socks up and smile. Why is it so important to know your show?
This is why it's important, probably.
Yeah,
agreed.
Absolutely. Because, sometimes you're going to, it doesn't matter if you're a pro or semi-pro or hobbyist or whatever it is. If you're having a presentation or a show, you just got to go all in and be like, put your big boy pants up or whatever it is. Yeah, absolutely.
And just get it done. All right. I do have more questions. So, you said you've been doing this for a decade.
Thanks, it's gonna be great. Yeah, thanks. It is really good though. Like, you haven't read it all. Sorry, I'm just interrupting you right now. But it is really good. I'm really, really proud of this book. Like, this is truly, truly the book I wish I had in hand 10 years ago.
I read a few parts, but not that much. But I'm going to. Okay, continue my question. You've been doing this for 10 years already, which is
so old.
Amazing by itself. 10 years, a decade. I feel like a decade ago, what was I doing a decade ago? In school probably.
100%, yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember the grade, but school. So,
you probably got your first phone.
Yeah, that might actually be true.
Yeah.
10 years. Time flies. What has changed for magicians over the past decade, and what is new or different for newcomers at the moment?
I'd say the digital age, like not just age, but you know what happened after the pandemic. Pandemic changed everything for us, and I saw so many like thriving, and they were even better on camera than they ever were live. And I think with TikTok and Instagram and X and all the things we didn't even know the name of because I'm old, obviously. No, but I think it's changing a lot for magicians now, and we see people doing like exposure videos and that kind of stuff. And it's really, even here in Sweden a few weeks ago, there was a big thing on national news where they had in an expert who wasn't a magician, so it didn't make any sense. But she was talking about exposure and magic, and she even had this video of Craig Petty where he's like talking shit about magicians, and I'm like, what is happening right now? That was so strange. But I think now what's different now is that people consume more magic now than they did just a few years ago. And not that they know the tricks or want to know the tricks. It's just everything. There's magic everywhere. And just opening any page on Reels or whatever, people are using magic effects even though it's just editing. So people love magic. Even though they don't go to the shows, they're exposed more to magic now. And you can say you think that's scary and bad and it's never going to get people to the theaters, but I actually think it's the opposite way. Because if people are every day consuming magic one way or the other, and they see that there's a magic show coming to the city, maybe subconsciously they're going to be like, oh, I like magic. I don't know. And we won't know for a few years.
Yeah, but I also think it's just changing with everything you see of tricks online, just card tricks. I was never good with cards, but seeing everything and seeing you perform with the cards, I was like, oh, that is so cool. And it makes you want to try it too and just be like, oh, maybe I'm not going to be ever pro, but at least I can do some things and show the family, maybe show it on Christmas, on a birthday or whatever. It's just so fun to see.
Absolutely. Doug is still having issues.
Do we want to give Doug my email address so he can email me and we figure this out?
Yes, I think that's better. You can email her at this address.
So if you have any questions, if there's anything that's concerning you, please reach out to me. I'll try my best to respond to you as soon as possible. So email me.
This is her email address. I just had to double check it, so that's why I made it so big.
Yeah, but it's right.
Yay, we have a pre-order done. Yay, thank you so much. You're going to love it. You're going to absolutely love it. It's a great book. I'm really proud of it.
Yeah, I haven't read that much, but everything that I did read was great. So,
yeah.
Amazing.
Next question, please.
Yeah, we do have more to cover.
Yeah, I see the list. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm never getting home.
We're at question number 6, so we still have some more to go. During the writing process, did you discover anything new about yourself?
Yeah, I think I have carpal tunnel. No, what did I discover? You know what I discovered? I always knew that I liked writing in a very like educational way. I did that all the time when I worked in church because I wrote a lot of lecture notes for confirmants and youth groups, and I've been training leaders before I did this. So I rediscovered maybe that I do like writing for educational purposes. I also found that I'm funny in text. I know that I'm funny in talking, but I also found that I'm funny in text. You even laughed during the reading.
Yeah, it's just you.
Yeah. Well, I try to make it shine through. Like when I write, I want people to get a feeling that it's me. Because in the book club that I run, we just recently read a book by Max Maven, and it was so clear that it was him that wrote it, or he that read it or wrote it. Yeah, you know what I mean. You could hear it when you're reading it. I was like, I can feel him in my head right now, and I wanted that, and I think I made that happen. I hope I made it happen.
Excited. And what do you hope to reach with this book, with your impact on the readers?
I hope people understand that there is a reason that business is the longer word in show business. I mean, the show is one thing, but if people want to do this as a profession, they have to understand that this is a job. Like I see my job as the salesperson of my show, and the show is my passion. That's what I dream of doing. And just the daytime is spent selling that show instead of working for somebody else and waiting for shows to happen.
Yeah, I think that's something we talked about early on, that maybe you perform 10% of your work time and everything else is business, accounting, preparing, selling the shows. There's so much that is important besides just performing, so there's just a lot you have to do. So I think the book is a great start, or even to level up your business, because there's just so much in there, so much information, so much advice. It's gonna be great for all of you.
Yeah, I think so too.
Pre-order.
Yeah,
I can recommend it.
yeah. Even though you haven't read all of it. Well, I have.
I still can recommend it.
I put the link in one more time because I see there are a few late joiners, so I'm gonna put the link in a few times more so you can see it if you're joining and jumping in and backing in. I was gonna say, but back and forth. Next question, please.
Do you have a particular moment or performance in your career that you will cherish forever? Something that you remember?
Premiere night of my tour.
Ah, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that was incredible. That's my highlight of my career, even though I was alone. And Charlotte asked me this, my agent asked me this during my 10-year anniversary party. And I was all alone. I was on the stage. I could hear the entire audience. It was a full theater. Remember, first time on tour, full theater. We had used maybe $200 for the entire national tour in marketing budget because we didn't need it because it was such a high demand for the show. And I could hear people that I knew in the audience because I knew where they were sitting, and I can hear them as they were walking in. And I had my belt pack on and I was ready, and I sat down on the little chair that I had for the intro of the tour trick thing that I did. And I see the smoke coming in, it fills the stage, and I just hear people, and I'm like, I'm so proud of myself. So proud of myself. That's my number one favorite memory so far.
I get it.
It's even better than having my twins. Don't tell my boyfriend.
And
don't tell the kids.
Don't ever show this to the kids. Yeah. Let's not traumatize them.
More than they need to. Yeah.
It's fine. All right. You also do a lot of content creation. You're a content creator too, and you do have lots of stuff for entrepreneurship going on. How is this influencing your work as a magician?
Well, I think I get more gigs because I see myself as an entrepreneur. Because I actually run it as a business. I reach out to people and I market my business, and I make sure people know how to book me, not just say I'm a magician and then walk away, which I see a lot of people doing. Instead, I actually, I do a lot of repeat clients, and I have a system for that, and it's been working for me for the past 10 years. So that's something that I'm going to try to make sure that people are actually understanding, because it's, if you're happy with the soda you just bought, you want to buy it again. And if you see commercials of that soda coming up and get an email about that soda, you're gonna feel like, oh my god, yeah, I really like that soda, maybe I should get that one more time. Even now that I'm talking about soda, I'm like, oh my god, I should have some soda going on. And it's not just, I say soda, but I think about Coca-Cola because they did such an amazing job marketing. What did you think about
my order?
Okay. Well, I'm not.
But agreed. I just had that recently of Coca-Cola, the example in my studies. That is just something. You see the red color. Sometimes you even see Santa Claus because it's just the image that's connected with it. And you're like, oh, Coca-Cola. Yeah. It's just in your head. I don't drink it, but still, I'm like, that's the first thing you think about.
Right.
I don't like it, but still, first thing that comes to mind is always Coca-Cola. It's just what they did, and it's a brand. It's not just a soda. It's so much more.
Right. Yeah, and I want to be Coca-Cola. I guess
it's a feeling. It's an experience. It's a whole thing, and it's just something. You need to do.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
you're doing.
Yeah, and I think that's very important and something that people miss all the time because they're like, oh yeah, they're gonna have a sip of this soda once, never again. And so I try to think, in the long term, like how can I, if I do a show today, like let's say I do a walk around today, how can I make sure that they hire me to do a show, maybe not next year, but the year after?
Yeah.
Like how can I plan, not just, oh, I need money today, because I mean, that's not taking this seriously. You have to think about this in the long term, and that's something that I feel like we should talk more about in the magic community, because it's something that's just so easily overlooked.
Yeah. Yeah, you also said that you had a director, or I know that you had at least 2 directors for your tour. How has mentorship played a role in your career?
It's a big thing. I hired a professional clown to be the director for my show. That is a comedy magic show, and it's a very serious storytelling magic show. And he made me understand 2 things. One thing is funny, and one thing is serious. The funny thing is that it's funny if somebody speaks fake Danish, which I did during the show, which was Swedish with a Danish accent that didn't make any sense, but it was so many people's favorite part of the show. Like if I asked people what was your favorite part of the show, it was that piece, and it wasn't a magic trick, it was a story, and he brought that out from me, and truly beautiful, and it inspired all of my TED Talks, all of my public speaking ever since. So that was a big one for me. And the second thing about hiring people is that you have to understand that you're very limited of what you think you can do. Like if you just have somebody else look at your business, look at what you're doing, it doesn't have to be a director. It can be a friend, it could be another magician, it could be a juggler, it could be a singer, anybody. Have them just look at what you're doing and ask for feedback, and honest feedback, constructive feedback. It's going to change so much.
Yeah.
And I hired somebody to do this for me every day for 6 weeks. Imagine what that can do to you.
Sounds great.
It broke me down. He brought out so many sides of me that I didn't know I had. But yeah. Thank you, Gwen. Thank you.
Hello, Gwen.
Hello. I like Alana. I like Alana too.
Oh yeah, she's great. Funny.
Yeah.
Especially the situation she handled with the dude. Wasn't that Alana too?
No, that was
No, that wasn't Alana, right?
That was, I can't remember her name.
Yeah, but I think she started with A too.
Gabriella. Her name was
wow.
Gabriella. Oof.
Nothing with A.
It was
wow.
foreign, but I had it.
Well, I still like Alana too.
Yeah.
I'm just confused here with the names. Because it's so many great women in the industry too. Something that changed. Love to see that. As we continue, because there are still more questions to go to, how do you balance the traditional aspects of magic with the need to evolve with new technologies and platforms?
What? That's a big question. And you just sprung that on me.
I didn't say I go easy on you.
Can you read that again, please?
How do you balance the traditional parts of magic with the ever-evolving technologies and platforms that they are?
Oh my goodness. Okay, how do I balance that? Well, we talked about TikTok in the past, like a little while ago. And I try to be active on the socials. And I try to, see what works for magicians out there, and also try to think outside of the box. But when it comes to the traditional magic show, I think I break a lot of stereotypes just being a woman. So I don't think I have to do that much to renew magic in the sense of the audience. I'm not sure that really answers the question.
Somewhat.
Yeah, it's a hard question. Really hard question. But yeah, I think I do a good job of trying to balance the new and the old. I try to not just take a trick that I bought or read about and just do it as it's written. Most of the time I can't because of the clothes that I wear when I'm performing, because a lot of tricks or a lot of magic books are written by men for men in men's jackets. So I try to not do like any of those, really.
Yeah, but I feel like also something you do with this is the book club.
Yeah.
Because books are a more traditional aspect of magic, but you do something online to have a broader audience and just be able to have more people reaching it and just enjoy it too. I think that's...
You're welcome.
Just giving you some praise here on the side.
This is recorded, right? Yeah.
We hope so. All right. What is your process for organizing and selecting the advice and stories that you put in the book? To get back to the book.
How do I structure it? Well, I try to do it in different portions. Like you need your foundation to be set. So the foundation is going to be the magic foundation is one, and then it's the business foundation. So those come first.
Yeah. And
then I just build on top of that. Like, what do you need after you have the foundation done? And then I end with, so business, you need the business, right? You need the foundations. And then afterwards is a little bit of social media marketing, a big piece about how to think about marketing. And then after that is how you start making money. And then it ends with how you make the big bucks, basically. So it's, as I said, like it's building on top of each other, really. And I think you need to have the foundation set first. So I even say in the book, if you don't have this ready, you can pause the book right now and come back to it later. Because if you don't have an act or a show, or you feel confident in the close-up gigs you're doing, and you're not like out there performing somewhat regularly, it doesn't have to be like every week or anything, but if you have an act that you're confident with, then this book is for you. But if you're not there, I think maybe you should go out there and get some more flight time before you get to this, because this is going to be when you're ready to actually take a step to make this a serious business for yourself, even if it's only part-time. But this is for people who are serious about the business side.
Yeah, agreed. I think that's good. It's so great. How do you stay motivated to continue your journey and to push boundaries and just keep going, especially after you just hit your goal? Well, not a goal, but just a decade of doing this full time.
Yeah, as I said before, I feel like I kind of have a contract with my three-year-old self. I fell in love with magic as I've never known a love like that. Like if I have a partner now, I have kids, I have a dog, I have, I've had ex-boyfriends. If you're watching, get out of here. No, I'm kidding. I mean, that's one kind of love, but what I feel for magic, when I'm performing, it can't even get close to that. So that keeps me motivated, and I kind of feel like it's kind of like a drug, since I love it so much. I dream about magic, I think about magic, I perform magic, I create magic, I read magic. It's literally the first and last thing I do every day. Also now I'm crocheting a little bit, if I'm being honest. Yeah.
How's that going?
Not very good.
Well, I haven't seen it yet, so...
We're not going to do a book on crocheting. It's
well, we have to other people
yet.
for that.
Yeah.
There's a question.
Oh, there's a question. Let me see here. How do you being sure for tickets on your show to be sold? What was the case when the hall was closed to empty, but you still presented magic? Was there a case? Where the hall was closed to empty?
On your tour? No.
On the tour, true story. On the tour, there was one city that wasn't selling very well. So what we did was we ended up giving away 50 tickets. So that's my number one advice. If you want a full house, give away the tickets. People do it all the time in Vegas. Why shouldn't we do it? How can you be sure that tickets to be sold? You can never be sure. You truly can never be sure. Going on tour is always a risk if you don't have anybody else who is producing it and actually paying for everything. I four-walled, which means I rented out most of the theaters that I went to. In some cases, we did a split. So we did a 70-30 split. So I would get 70% of the ticket sales, they'll get 30. Which means that the more marketing they were doing, the better it would be for them as well. So if you are looking to go on a tour or just do a one-off or a show of any kind, I highly, highly recommend you to do a split ticket sale. so much easier for everybody, and you don't take as big of a risk. The most expensive theater that I rented was, let me think, around $9,000 just to rent it for one night. And then you have to add on the technicians, the staff, the ticket people who are, making sure you have a ticket. It was very, very, very expensive. But it was a big room. It was 600 or 700 seats. It was a long time ago now, 6 years ago. I think it was around that size. So in ticket sales, it made up for it. But it was that was a big risk for us.
But you managed it.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Let's never do it again. Okay, let's do it again, actually. Matt has a question. Is the book laid out as a more A to Z approach of all the business ideas that are important, or a step-by-step guide? It's more of a step-by-step, I'd say, since it's built upon the foundation. And it's also very much like for the tools part, I talk about all the tools I use in my business. Like, it's every single thing I use, like from Dropbox, how I use Drive, why I use them differently, how I use my calendar, which email I use, how I use my websites, like just to list everything down, because I didn't know. I didn't know that you needed a calendar that agents can access so they can book the show themselves. Nobody told me this. And when I started doing that, like, I get notifications in my email and my calendar saying, oh, David from Atenas, he just booked you a show in May. And I'm like, oh, nice. He wouldn't be able to do that if he didn't have access to my calendar. So it's like automated, even though people are doing it manually.
I have access to your calendar.
Oh, you do, yeah. Yeah, that's why I don't see myself going to the gym that much, because you're booking my calendar. I'm kidding. That's not the reason I'm not going to the gym, let's be honest.
I can book you a time there, no problem.
Yeah, that'd be nice, actually.
Make it a daily thing.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say 9,000 people, not dollars, haha. Yeah, no, it was extremely expensive to go on tour. Ottar is here. Hello. You went to see the tour, no? Where the magic happens? You went to see, I know you saw the digital one, but did you go see the actual tour? I think so.
Let us know if you did.
Yeah. Also, here's the link to the book one more time.
Nice. So we are nearly through the questions.
Oh, wow. So if you have more questions, let me know in the comments.
Exactly. So my questions are nearly over, but yours can keep on coming. So if you look back at your career so far, is there anything you would have done differently based on the insights that shared in your book?
It was, not listening to people so much that I did. Also, I wish I had a business plan starting out. I didn't. I still don't have one that is, step by step as, you know what it is. I have a business plan and it's great, but if I started this before with actually having the business plan in hand when I decided to go all in, it would be very, very different. Because now my business is evolving so much right now. We're in a very, like a growth spurt right now. And so I feel like we kind of have to go on a 2-day retreat and just sit down and actually rewrite it. Because it's so many things that are changing for us. And I mean, just hiring somebody, that changes so much. And it's so much of my time in the beginning when you just started was teaching you how to do what I wanted you to do.
Exactly. Which just show me how your business is running, because even though I can look at your websites, I can look at your social media, but it's different of seeing how you actually run it. Yeah. And just how you want it to be run. And it's just something, if you take over a part of someone's business, you just have to know what they actually want. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like Matt, who is in here listening, he has been editing my videos, like a lot of my YouTube videos. And in the beginning, it was he would send me something, and I'd be like, I love this and this and this. Maybe you can change this, and I added the seconds, and this is the way that I want it. And then we did that 2 times, 3 times, maybe. And then he was like, got it. And it's kind of the same thing when you're doing your business plan for the first time. You write it, and then you have to rewrite it a million times because things are going to change. You're going to really understand. You're really going to understand what it is that makes sense to you. Like, it's one thing to say, my market is this, and then you realize, oh, no, that's actually not my market, and then you have to have the time to go back. And I've been super busy for the past year, like too busy the last year. And usually I would take at least 2 times a year to just revise what I'm doing. Like, take a moment, take a day, literally take a full day, and just think about, what have I done this year that was good and what was not amazing, and how can I make sure moving to the next quarter or the next year or whatever it is, to make sure that I am, that's the alarm of the office, that's interesting. How can I make sure that that's, better for the time that's coming? Also, thank you. You did go to see the show. Yes, and it was really good. It was a nice show. I should go on tour with that one again. Just make it a little better. Yeah. I've been thinking, Uta, if you're still here, or any other Swedes here, I've been thinking when I do my last ever tour, I want to call the show Caroline Ravn, Hatten på hyllan. Oh. And for those of you who don't know what that means, it's a Swedish saying that means quitting, really. Putting your hat up on the shelf is what it's called. So Caroline Ravn, Hatten på hyllan. That'd be my, or maybe retiring the wand, but that feels like a porno for pensioners.
What am I coming back to?
I don't know. It got weird when you were away.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is actually the hat that I would like to have with me in that show. This was my grandfather's hat. So this is with me during my tour. Also always in the office. So when I retire a million years from now, because I'm so young,
you are.
I want to take this hat and I want to have it on the shelf, and it would just be there.
Isn't that great?
I think that's kick-ass name for a tour. I know. Yeah.
All right. I
All
do
right.
have one more question.
Bring it.
What's next for Caroline Ravn? What is coming? What is an upcoming project? Anything you can share with us?
Well, I'm going home for dinner.
I already had dinner.
Oh, good for you. Good for you. I didn't. I don't know why. What's next? Well, the book is next. And I've also decided to take on more of a serious approach to entertainers who are really looking to level up as entertainers and business owners. So starting in a few weeks, I am actually going to start coaching magicians in the business side of show business, a really deep dive into their businesses and go on a 90-day journey where they can take everything they know and scramble it up and like put it up in the air and then close their eyes, and then we're going to catch the things that make sense. Because too many times we make it too damn difficult for ourselves. And that's a hands-on course where everybody's going to be going away with actionable steps to actually make this work for themselves. So that's what's next. And then starting in end of April, I am going on cruises again. So I'll be going on 8 cruises, I believe, this year. And then hopefully next year I'll go back on tour. I was planning on going on tour this year, but I truly don't have the time.
No.
I wish I did. It's February, and I'm like, I don't have any time for this.
I feel like the year is already booked.
Yeah, but I'm so happy I took the time now to write the book, because otherwise I would not have the time.
No, this year is already packed.
Already packed. It's February and it's already packed. And that's the kind of knowledge you get if you order the book. I'm going to put it here one more time. That's truly, that is how you plan your year, so you're so busy that you don't have time to go on tour. Yeah, that's how you do it.
It's great. Well, thank you for answering all my questions. Answering my questions.
Okay,
Hello?
right. Okay, give me the love.
Thank you for answering my questions.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's all.
Oh,
You're not getting more. It's
Okay.
great working for you, I can say that.
Thank you. I'm a good person. I try to be.
Just like that.
Try to be. Is it possible to find somewhere a recording of your show? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. If you go to my my YouTube, we're obviously here on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to my main page, the show is called Where the Magic Happens, and that's actually not the full show. This is something that I did during lockdown. Because I'm crazy like that. It was May 2020. I was bored. I decided to rent a theater, a 1,120 seat theater during the pandemic. And I also hired a TV production team. We live streamed the show all across the world. And I still have some time. Phil Shaw he's at Blackpool. I can write a chapter on how to do a show that is so scary. It was amazing though. It's, that's the show I did. So everybody is mic'd up and it was 11 guests. We had 4 cameras, I believe, like a full tech crew. And the only problem was that the audio, the video audio wasn't great. And that was because of the pandemic. We did the staff of the theater weren't allowed to work that many hours during that day, so they couldn't test the audio. It was a whole thing here. So if they wanted to have what is it called? I don't know this word in English, permittering. So the government was paying 80% of their salary, and if they wanted to do that, they couldn't work that many hours.
Yeah.
So we weren't allowed to do an actual audio test. So the video is great. The audio, not so much. So there's the version of the show at least. Also, I have a platform where it's where I can post it here so you can see it. Ravnmagic.com. And I post some full cruise shows on there so you can see what the shows actually look like during a cruise as well.
And it's not just on ravnmagic.com, it's not just cruise shows, but it's also lots of advice, some articles, some blog posts, more content. There are also some book readings, actual recordings from the book club.
Oh yeah,
so you get a lot of stuff there. There is a 7-day free trial if you want to try it. So we welcome you there too.
Absolutely. We have a question. I think it's so hard to see it here though, because my shirt is so black. I can't see anything. Caroline, that's me. I've been wanting to start a TikTok YouTube channel for my magic career. And I was hoping you could give me some advice on how I can improve my magic. Yes, absolutely. 100%. Hello, hit me up. 100%. Congrats, thank you so much, Ariel. Thank you. I'll see you at the book club on Sunday, I hope. I'm going to learn more tricks. Please don't. Please don't.
I feel like you know so many already.
Yeah, Ariel knows the tricks. He also knows the stories for the tricks better than anyone, I believe. I feel like we have covered what we went here to do.
Yeah, I feel like it's been great.
This was fun. We should do more live streams, no?
Yeah, we should.
More live streams. By the way, I'm going to put the link one more time if you haven't already bought the book. And remember, this is a pre-launch. The book is not finished. It's basically finished. Just waiting for the layouts. And if you want this as a printed copy, let us know, and then we're going to sort that out later on and withdrawing what you already paid to make sure you actually get it as a physical book. And if you get the physical book, you're also going to get the digital book. I think that's, always a good thing. And that's something that I wish more people did. Like, honestly, if you buy a book, a physical book, why don't you just get the PDF too?
Yeah, I would love that.
Why? Why?
Would be great. So we're doing that. Just, if you need that, we will have it for you.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming today. And I know that there's a little bit of a delay, so I'm going to start the goodbyes now. It's like a 25-second delay, not minute delay.
That would be a problem.
But yeah, so thank you so much for coming. I'm super, super glad, and I'm super excited to announce that the book is now officially pre-launched.
Yay! Finally.
Yeah, finally. So much time, dedication, and so many times you asked me, Caroline, is this thing done? And I'm like, no, because I've been writing this book, neglecting myself. No, that's not true.
Not yourself.
Not going to the gym, actually. What else have I been neglecting? Emails. And that's also not true.
Yeah, maybe some things I sent to you.
Also, I haven't been posting 2 videos a week on YouTube.
Yeah, well,
I said I would, but then I didn't, so.
We're working on that. I'm back now, so
That is true.
I'm gonna be here and be like, we have to do that.
Thanks, buddy. Thank you. This was great. Thank you. Really excited to get the book. Yeah, me too. So should the entire magic community be. My goodness, this is the book everybody needs.
Yeah.
Definitely. Also, if anybody is watching this and you're actually at Blackpool, waiting to see shows or whatever, what are you doing here? Like, I heard it was great this year. Honestly, I heard it was great, except for I heard some people saying that people should not be doing tricks with animals anymore, and I do think that that's the thing. If I'm writing a new essay or something, it's gonna be about magic and animals. Let's just we're done.
Do that. No,
we're done.
No.
Yeah.
There's a reason why we don't have many circuses with live animals anymore. We don't need that.
Yeah,
You're
that's
great
true.
by yourself.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Not necessary.
You are the show.
Amazing.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And I'm gonna leave the end screen on for a second. So, and if anybody feels like they have to say something else, I'll still see it. And I was gonna say, I'll see you next week on the book club. And yes, please join my book club. It's called the Magician's Book Club, and I'm gonna write the email on how to join. We meet every Sunday, an hour earlier than we are right now.
Yeah, at 7 PM CET.
Yes, the Magician's Book Club at gmail.com. We meet on Zoom. It's a lot of fun. And I'm gonna put this one here. You can see it. The Magician's Book Club at gmail.com. And the next book that we're reading is Parlor Tricks. Do you have it here?
Yeah, the one. The one that's
Oh yeah, I know. I just saw it. We're reading Parlor Tricks. So as I said, you don't need any more books. But join my book club.
Yeah, and if you don't have the book, you can still join and discuss everything.
Yeah.
So there is no need to have every book. You are still very welcome, and join. The more the merrier.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have a great evening or a great day wherever you are, and order the book.
Bye.
Mm-hmm.